Good evening, everyone. Oh my gosh. I have the best producers in the world. Always start out with a big chuckle, which is good because, when you laugh, you raise your vibration. If you're tuning in for the first time, I'm Halley Elise, and I am delighted and excited, as always, to be here with you. I have to giggle because not only is the producer amazing and humorous, he seems to know how to push all the right buttons to get that energy going before we begin, literally and figuratively. That said, I do hope that the day so far has been treating you well. It's so funny. I never know what my day is going to be like. And people sometimes look at me odd when I say that, thinking, well, of course you do, if you're going to the office or if you're on the phone or what have you. And to a degree, that's correct. And people then say, and you're psychic. Okay, psychic, yes. Mind reader, only with family. Sometimes boyfriends, ex boyfriends, husbands, that type of thing. Anyways, that's for another time. My point is, you can make a plan. And there's that expression, make a plan and God laughs, right? Okay. I set the clock this morning. I have specific things I have to get done, take the dog out, and the pup's like, nope, nope. I don't really want to do anything you want me to do this morning. Oh, look, there's the neighbor's dog over there. I think I want to go play with the neighbor's dog. Oh, didn't you want me to go play with the neighbor's dog? Oh, too bad, because that's what I want to do. That's the type of thing I'm talking about. It's those little funny things that seem to pop up. The question is, do you get annoyed about it? Or do you just kind of say, okay, next, just kind of go with the flow? The truth of the matter is, if you can start your day out by just going with the flow, then you keep your vibe high. So, for instance, and I've shared this over the years a plethora of times, but it's really true. If you get out of bed and you accidentally stub your toe and you go, oh God, my toe, oh, this is the way the day is going to start. I can't believe, and you're not paying attention because you're worried about your toe, and then you smack your head into the wall. And you're going, see, I knew this is how the day is going to go. And then, of course, coffee pot, that's good. Coffee pot breaks, or something else goes awry. Maybe your car doesn't start, you can't find the keys. You've already cemented the idea that things are not going to go well, which also means you cemented that vibration within your field of energy in that moment. Now you can always change it. And if you're thinking, well, no, when I'm feeling bad and things are off, how am I supposed to change it? I was speaking with a friend the other night whose family member is very ill in the hospital with, I don't want to share her private information. I will just simply say, with a bad situation, and outcome is not great at the moment. Well, 10 minutes into the conversation, she's laughing and she's rolling, and you can hear the lift. There's that lilt in her voice. We can all do that. If you are feeling off, you're feeling poorly, turn on some music and dance. If that doesn't work, just start clapping your hands. Not like this, but just start clapping. It actually shifts the vibration in a space. Ever notice when you're in an auditorium, no matter if the show is good, bad, or indifferent, people start to stand up. They don't all stand up at one time, but you'll see like some people stand up, then other people stand up, then others, and they all start to applaud because they feel like that's what they should do, right? I guarantee even those who weren't that thrilled with the program all of a sudden are delighted, not with the program, but in their mood. And when they leave the show, they are in the right frame of mind. Instead of leaving the show grumbling or feeling like, oh, I spent money on that, they may still think, my money could have been better spent. However, their mood, that vibration from clapping, from everybody around them clapping, actually elevates their energy. You cannot be happy, content, joyful, sad, and miserable all at the same time. That's as same as if you're trying to smile and frown at the same time. Try it. It's just not doable. And the reason I bring this up is because the Halley Elise show is not just for psychic readings. It really is to help you in your world, manage your world to the best of your capability. In addition to that, I just want to give you a little preview very quickly. I do have some guests that will be coming on in the next several weeks. I think you're going to love them. And are they specifically connected to psychic abilities? No, not exactly. However, one has amazing background in meditation and the other in love. Both are going to be incredible. I'll share more information as we get closer. In the meantime, we have, I believe, Vladimir on the phone from New York. Hi, Vladimir. How are you?
Hi, how are you?
I'm great. Did you have a specific question you wanted to address, or did you want to just see what comes in this evening?
Yes, I just wanted to see what comes in this evening.
Okay, you got it. Ooh, one of the first things that comes in is like this pang in my heart, which tells me there's some fear going on in your world. And it feels to me as if it's connected to either a specific relationship or relationships in general. It's almost as if you're not allowing yourself to shine. You're not allowing yourself to believe in you as much as you should be. Does that resonate with you?
Yes, it does. Yes,
Okay. Because, like I said, there was that pang, like, oh, gotta take a breath. Let me share something. There is absolutely nothing wrong with you. If you have been thinking, oh, but I have to do it different, oh, but things aren't going well because, oh, I can't really say, oh, I can't, please stop that. And instead, focus your attention on what is it you want. And what you want is to feel fulfillment. What you want is that joy. What you want is to know that you're loved. You can have that. You just have to get out of your own way. And I know sometimes that sounds very trite. It's like, oh, yeah, just tell somebody to stop doing what they're doing. I don't mean it that way. I'm saying that you can take an active stance in what's going on in your world by understanding that things that you are afraid of are just simply things that you believe influence now. Let me clarify. We all have a past, we all have things that we have gone through. And some of us have more of our share than others. With you, I feel like for years, it's not just recent, for years, you just shy away from truly, fully embodying who you are. I feel like part of that has to do with upbringing. I feel like part of that has to do with some teasing that took place, but
yes,
it's past. I really truly believe you could relate to this. Yes?
yes, definitely. Yes,
Okay.
definitely right.
Please hear me when I say it's past, which means not that it didn't happen. However, it does not have to rule this moment. A good way to get beyond this, and then I'll give you a prediction as far as somebody coming into your world. A good way to get beyond this so that you can enjoy this next person coming in is to take a look at if you had the type of relationships, not relationship, but relationships, because there's more going on here than just that single focus. If you had the type of relationships that you truly wanted, how would that make you feel? You don't have to answer me, answer you. Get really clear and perhaps even sit down and write it out. Like, okay, well, I would feel this way, and I would be doing that, and I would be thinking about this, and I would be sharing. Get into that feeling of it. Recognize that if you can think of it, just even in your imagination, that means that you can actually have what you want. That said, I'll go back to past for just a moment. Please let go of people that, even if they came back into your space, are not the right people for you. Because I feel like you keep trying to hold on and have them show up in the way that you want them to. But if they were going to do that, they would have done it already. That said, on a higher note, the name Steve comes in very strong. Even if there was a Steve in the background, I get a Steve coming into your world who there could be a really great connection with. I get also a Linda. that comes in very strong coming into your world. This tells me you've got a couple of new relationships that are going to be coming in that really can be loving and supportive, that can be the type of people that you really want in your world. This making sense to you, I hope?
Yes, yes, all of this is resonating.
Okay. Make a commitment to yourself, really and truly. It's okay to look at what was. It's okay to look at, well, it should have been. It's okay even to have been mad at yourself. Once you look at it, say done. So the next time that type of feeling or those thoughts pop up, ask yourself, is this in this moment? And because it's not. If you remind yourself of that, that means you get to be the master of your own destiny. It means that you can put out a different vibration because you start to feel better about you and you attract to yourself the people, the situations that you truly desire, but more importantly, that you truly deserve. And I think that's a key here, not in the sense of believing that you don't deserve, but more wondering when is it going to happen? And we are in, what are we in? We're in May. Yes, June, July, August, September, October. I'm leaning towards kind of second, third week of October that something really special comes in respect to romance. In the meantime, take moments to commit to yourself to do things such as envisioning what it feels like really having joyful relationships, envisioning whatever was being really done. And even if that means standing in front of a mirror and screaming all your feelings out just to get it out, and then afterwards go, good job, and like really mean it, make eye contact with yourself, you can break old patterns because that's all this is. And again, there is absolutely nothing wrong with you. The things that you desire don't have to be identical to what the next person desires. Let all of that go. I'm not saying to ever do anything that would be harmful or unkind to anybody. I'm simply saying do what you know is right for you without there being that whole filtering taking place. Okay, my friend?
Yes, thank you. Thank you.
You're very welcome. Did you have a question about any of that? I just want to make sure that you take it
Um,
with you.
yes, this is pretty clear. Thank you again.
You're very welcome. Enjoy the rest of your night.
You as well. Take care.
Thank you. I caught that we have a gal from Wyoming, Kathy. Hi, Kathy. How are you?
Great. How are you?
I'm really, really good. Did you have a specific area of focus or question?
Yeah, I have an opportunity to be an assistant manager, and I'm wondering if that is the right direction for me to go.
Ooh, I get a very mixed feeling, and I'll tell you why. You could be a
Okay.
great assistant manager. You'd be an even better owner. You-
Okay.
you- I really feel like you have the ability to run the show. And the only thing that stopped you, well, there's a couple of things. Part was situational things that you had to take care of. Part was
Right.
finances, not feeling like you could make that type of move without really feeling secure financially. So there's
Right.
that kind of like the literal with the finances, and then the other part with the brain going, you got to do the careful thing, the right thing, so you can continue to take care of things. But I feel like those are the two
Uh-huh.
primary things that have stopped you from doing your own thing in the way that you wanted to do for some time. The
Right.
best way that I can articulate this to you, hon, is for now, accept the opportunity. However, while you're accepting this opportunity, start planning your future differently. Start really planning how you'd like to see yourself running the show. Now, if that simply means becoming the supervisor of an entire industry, great. If it simply means just stepping up the ladder where you're at, focus on doing that in relatively short periods of time. So, for instance, oftentimes you get a position, you do great, they pat you on the back, they give you like a 1% raise, and you're like, oh, thanks a lot. That's
Uh-huh.
nice, but that's helpful, right? Instead,
Right.
envision moving through the system very quickly, as in not only are they impressed with you, but they're moving you up to the next level and the next level. If you
Okay.
agree to do that, again, go back to designing what it is that you truly want. We're in 2024. Yes, yes. Sorry, get into this mode. I lose track of dates and times. By 2029, and I know it sounds like, oh my gosh, 5 years. However, by 2029, you're going to be stepping into a cycle that has to do with magic. And when I say that, it's like you can wiggle your nose. Do you remember Samantha from Bewitched on TV?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. You know how she would just want something and boop, boop, make it happen?
Uh
You're
huh.
going to be able to have that power. And I don't mean wiggling your nose, I mean having an intention and having it show up almost immediately. If you plan now for what you truly want and just accept this opportunity that's being offered as a temporary solution, because I feel like you're
Mhm.
in a time where you have to do something. And yet, even though this is not what you want 100%, you're not really ready to do your own thing your own way. This cycle
Right.
that you're going into in 5 years, it's as if all the doors open for you and everybody that could possibly help you shows up in the right way. This is why I'm saying really plan it, as in get all the details down so clear that if you think about it, you get a big smile because you can actually feel it, you can actually see it. Know that by 2029, everything will be click, 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 click right into place, and
Okay.
you can do whatever you want. You can write your own paycheck at that point. You can pretty much just say, I want, like Bewitched, and make it happen. I will say, too, while this takes place, so again, you're looking at this 5 year cycle, and I want to talk a little bit about what's taking place now, but I want to stick with the future for just a moment. Relationship is going to be totally different. You're going to find that at the time that there is this fulfillment and satisfaction and I'm going to say pure joy with what's going on as far as business and finances, your love life is going to be wow. I mean, you're going to be looking, going, how did it get this good? This is incredible. They're going to run neck
Uh
and
huh.
neck because there's going to be this sense of no worries. And I know that sounds nuts because in the world we live in, there's always something to worry about. Yet this to me
Sure.
is that sense of being so comfortable in your own skin and so comfortable in your surroundings and so comfortable with your choices that everything else just expands, just grows, just gets better. Okay. That said, you don't want to wait for things until 2005, right? This time
Right.
period right
Right.
now, 2009,
Yes.
excuse me. We're in 2004. Yeah, sorry. Lost my bearings there for a moment. Between now and next year. So it's less than a year, actually. We're almost in the summer. So I figure roughly 7 months. Actually, I'm going to lean towards 8 months. You will
Uh huh.
find yourself going through what I would call a transition. You will get a cold and you'll go, why is this cold lasting so long? And you're thinking, what the heck's going on? It's like 3 weeks for this dumb cold. And then you start to get worried. Don't get worried. Just know it is just a cold. However, if you would take better care, instead of running like a crazy woman all the time, the cold would
Uh
go
huh.
quicker because you don't really rest unless you absolutely can't get out of bed.
Right.
You're going to need to, over the next 7 to 8 months, understand that all these little, I'll call them glitches, are going to show up. And they're kind of the things where you go, really? Do I have to deal with that? You do. It's not a matter of do you have to, it's how you do it. Try to develop a sense of humor about it. And I know sometimes that's not easy, yet if you are able to do that, you'll move through these little glitches very quickly. Bottom line, between now and 2025, and again, roughly 7, 8 month period here. So it could go, cycle could go into February, possibly beginning of March. as far as just glitchiness. It doesn't mean that good things don't happen also. It just simply means that I'll give an example because I think this will be really helpful. You go and you get excited about getting a new car. You get your new car, you get in, and the next morning you go to start it up, it doesn't start. What? No, I just drove it off a lot yesterday. Like, what the heck? And it's something as
Right.
simple as the battery was old. They forgot to change it out. It gets done very quickly. It's just an inconvenience. Just
Uh-huh.
recognize that's all these things are. So laugh about them. If you do that, I promise you, you'll move this very quickly. 26 through all the way up to 29, you will find that you have really high highs as well as really low lows. On a good note, the lows are going to be like very fast. So, for instance, you could get scared about something, think, oh my gosh, this is going to go wrong, blah, 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 blah. And all of a sudden you get news 5 minutes later that, oops, it was a mistake, you're fine. So, again,
Right.
sense of humor here is going to be very important until you get to 2009. This doesn't mean that you have to worry about everything because I really don't want to come across that way. That's not it. It's more a matter of, again, I'm going to say inconveniences or things that are uncommonly annoying showing up. You
Mhm.
can deal
Yeah.
with them. You can handle them. And I believe that part of this, the reason that this is coming through is to prepare you for what comes in 2009, where you get to be in charge. And being in charge means also being in charge of a lot of people. If you
Uh-huh.
manage all of these little glitches that come up, when this shows up in your world, you're going to just like skate through it.
Oh, good.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
just cycles. And when I say that, it has nothing to do with like astrology. This has to do with your specific energy. For instance, I can go back 2 years and I feel like you had one of these weird little glitchy periods roughly 2 years ago. And there was an aspect of it that was a bit sad that took you a bit to get beyond, but you did.
Yes.
And you find yourself here. Just simply know that these are cycles that you're going through. Yet by the time you get to 2029, I think I said 2009 earlier, sorry, but I think you knew what I meant. You will
Right.
find that you are just beaming because you're really connected to your power. You're really connected to what's coming in, and you're really confident about what comes next. Think big, really and truly. And I'm going to back up to what I said before. When you're thinking about you being in the exact business you want, you having that stability that's important to you. Just think about
Yeah.
what that looks like. Get all the details. What is it truly? What does it feel like? And something as simple as I wake up in the morning and I am so excited about going to my day. The sun's shining every day, even if it's raining, that type of thing.
Yeah.
It will be fantastic, really and truly. And you'll find from that point on, you move into a 10-year cycle that is just going to wow you. All sorts of things that
I can't
previously
wait.
were messed up, you're going to go, holy cow, this is amazing. I mean, the best way that I can express this, so this will really drive it home, is to say we're familiar with the term overnight success. And yet we
Yeah.
usually find out that the overnight success took 50 years to get there or, you know, 20 years to get there. It's typically not truly an overnight. That's how it's going to feel though, as if all of a sudden everything is just coming up roses.
Oh, that'll be fantastic.
In the meantime,
Yeah.
be careful of friends that mean well. However, they're kind of stuck in their own muck. And I'm not saying to dismiss anybody or and not be sympathetic.
Uh-huh.
So do your best not to spend too much time listening to that
Okay.
because without realizing they're taking some of your energy from you. I feel like
Yes.
there's one in particular, there's more than one, but there's one in particular who, bless them, It's as if when you leave them, you need a nap.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Do your best to lessen that time with them. It'll be better for you. The other thing that you can do that may be helpful, if you want, contact me after the show. Just inbox me, and as soon as I have a chance, I'll respond. But ask me about energy shielding, and I'll be happy to send you some information.
Okay.
Okay, because it's something that could be really helpful, so that when you are dealing with them, you don't walk away feeling totally drained. Really, that's the best word that I can use here. And I'm
Yes,
going to say
that is
something
for
very,
sure.
very funny. Pickles. For
Pickles.
some reason, I am hearing pickles, pickle juice, very good for you. If even if you don't like pickles, sounds nuts. I'm
Uh
sorry, not from me. This is coming from above. Try to have
huh.
either a pickle or some pickle juice like once a week. There's something about pickles that is good for you. Perhaps Google what are the benefits of pickles or pickle juice. I think that might give you an answer easier because all I
Okay.
know is pickles.
That's
Okay.
funny. Thank you.
I get weird
Thank
stuff
you so
sometimes.
much.
My pleasure, hon. Have a great night.
You too.
Thank you. It's so funny. There is this oddity that happens on occasion, and I call them tidbits, things that just kind of pop up out of nowhere, and you wonder, like, what the heck? But it's all good. It is, because I don't need to know what it means. The person I'm speaking to needs to know what it means. And even if they don't, oftentimes when they research, they figure it out. And I will say to you, intuitive knowings, intuitive moments come so often that you may not realize. If you're thinking a thought that you say to yourself, I don't normally think like that, investigate it, because typically there's some insight there for you. I'm so glad you could tune in this evening. I look forward to you tuning again next week. As I mentioned at the onset of the show, I will have some guests over the next several weeks here. I'll give you a heads up when they're coming on. Keep in mind, too, that you are more powerful than you think. Good night.